Liv Morgan to miss WrestleMania 41 after getting busted open on WWE RAW? Exploring the truth. Liv Morgan is one of the names many expect to see at WrestleMania 41, but her recent WWE RAW appearance ended in a bloody mess. However, it looks like her position for the premium live event won't be affected on this week's episode of the Red Brand. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez fought Io Sky and Dakota Kai in a tag team match. From the looks of it, the Judgment Day member got cut by a knee strike from the Damage Control member. The former Women's World Champion later posted a video showing the deep cut she sustained near her eye. However, it looks like that won't stop her from competing in the following months. For those wondering, Liv Morgan won't miss WrestleMania 41 because of the cut she got on WWE RAW. On a live Q&A on Backstage Pass, WrestleVotes reported that the former Women's World Champion received stitches after the match, but is fine. While also saying the spot was seemingly not planned, she got a couple of stitches afterward. Everything I've heard is that she's fine, and that's good, but it looked great. Blood in a women's match on a Monday Night Raw always stands out. I don't think it was planned, but it looked good. Despite the injury, Morgan continued in the match, but failed to emerge victorious. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio to be separated because of 38-year-old star in a huge twist? Potential explored. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were shown on the latest episode of WWE SmackDown. This came during the segment that revealed the latest development in the case of Jade Cargill's mysterious attacker. General Manager Nick Aldis called Bianca Belair and Naomi and showed them a video recorded using a mobile phone. The video began from the moment when Jade Cargill was being put in the ambulance. The camera panned to the left to reveal Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan walking away. While it seemed the Judgment Day members attacked Jade Cargill, the 38-year-old gem might have a word with Adam Pearce to discuss the next steps to determine whether the assumption is correct. If it turns out that the inaugural Women's Crown Jewel champion and her right-hand woman are behind the brutal assault, Nick Aldis can work with Pearce to punish Liv Morgan. The SmackDown general manager can suggest that Dominic Mysterio gets signed over to the Blue Show, and the former Women's World Champion will be banned from being a part of it in any shape or form. While it would be interesting to see the couple separated, this is all speculative at this point. Liv Morgan suffered an injury on Monday Night Raw. On WWE RAW, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez fought Damage CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai in a tag team match. Morgan suffered an injury near her eye owing to a knee strike, leading fans to believe that she may miss WrestleMania 41. However, on a live Q&A on Backstage Pass, WrestleVotes reported that she has not been deemed unfit for WrestleMania 41, and plans are moving forward as expected. She got a couple of stitches afterward. Everything I've heard is that she's fine, and that's good, but it looked great. Blood in a women's match on a Monday Night Raw always stands out. I don't think it was planned, but it looked good. Morgan secured her spot in the Women's Elimination Chamber match by winning against Io Sky on Raw in a singles match. Finn Balor has been strongly opposed to the idea of adding new members to the Judgment Day. However, if the Prince fails to win his Men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, fans could see Liv Morgan taking matters into their own hands. As a consequence of Finn's loss, the former Women's World Champion could introduce a new member into the faction. Balor previously stated that he would fix things by securing a spot in the Elimination Chamber. However, if he fails, Morgan bringing in a fresh addition to the Judgment Day seems like a realistic and intriguing direction for the faction on WWE RAW. Finn Balor might decide to quit the Judgment Day after another failure. With all the growing developments over the past few weeks, it appears that Finn Balor only has JD McDonough as his clear supporter, who is currently injured. Aside from him, the rest of the faction seems to be on one side, while Balor stands alone. This raises the possibility of Finn Balor quitting the Judgment Day to ultimately become a single star again. This could happen if, after Balor's potential loss, Liv Morgan takes charge and asserts that she is far better than Finn's authoritative approach in leading the Judgment Day. Frustrated by this power shift and feeling pushed aside, the former Universal Champion might ultimately quit the faction in response. This angle would allow WWE to finally turn Finn Balor into a babyface and book him Liv Morgan as a single star on the road to WrestleMania following RW between the two. Deserting of the group could potentially take place on WWE Raw had such an incredible match Elimination Chamber 2025. They haven't had a match like that in major women's division that I've seen on TV anywhere. Rhea won the match, but it was the best match on the show. It was incredible. Following a bloody match on WWE Monday Night Raw, a new report has revealed an injury update on Liv Morgan. On the February 10th edition of WWE Raw, damaged CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. During the course of the bout, Morgan suffered an apparent injury where she came up bleeding after a knee from Sky. Later in the program, Morgan was sporting a big bruise on her face during a backstage segment after the tag team bout. Fightful Select, subscription required, provided an update, noting that word backstage was Liv Morgan appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. The report reads, Liv Morgan got busted open by a knee, but word backstage was that she appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. Morgan will face Bianca Belair, Bayley, and 3 other participants in the Women's Elimination Chamber match at the titular event on March 1st. Kairi Sane sends a message to Liv Morgan. WWE star shares brutal fallout of serious injury. WWE superstar Kairi Sane recently took to social media to send a message to former Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day star suffered a brutal injury on this week's Monday Night Raw during the latest episode of the Red Brand. Liv Morgan teamed up with Raquel Rodriguez to face damage CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. All of the women involved in the bout put on an amazing display, but the match ultimately ended in Sky and Kai's favor. However, during the bout, Morgan suffered a brutal injury near her eye and started bleeding heavily. Following the show, the Judgment Day star had to get several stitches to close up her wound. She recently took to X/Twitter to show off her injury. This post caught Kairi Sane's attention, and she uploaded a photo of a similar eye injury that she had suffered in September last year while competing against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. The Damage Control member also sent a message to Morgan with several emojis. Former WWE writer reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal injury on Raw. During a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, former WWE writer Vince Russo reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal eye injury, saying that he believed she was extremely tough for a person of her stature. Did you see that nasty gash on Liv Morgan's eye, man? Wow, she is tough. I gotta give you that, man. That was a nasty gash on her eye. Did you see how that happened, Chris? I wasn't watching closely enough. I mean, she had like a boxer's cut. I mean, wow. She is tough, man. Liv Morgan is tough for a girl her size, and that was nasty. Liv Morgan has qualified for this year's Women's Elimination Chamber match. It will be interesting to see what WWE has planned for the Judgment Day star's future. Liv Morgan smiles through the pain after suffering a nasty cut on WWE Raw. It was a rough night for Liv Morgan Monday on Raw, who suffered both insult and injury. In a tag team match pitting her and Raquel Rodriguez against Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control, Morgan was pinned by Sky. But before that, she suffered a gnarly cut just over her right eye during the final minutes of the match. Rodriguez and Morgan paired up for some unique tandem offense. Rodriguez scooped Morgan up as if she was going to powerbomb her. Instead, she used Morgan as a weapon, swinging her body into the ribs of Sky, then Kai. Morgan's injury appeared to occur right after she collided with Sky. However, she started holding her face after hitting Dakota later. After Morgan blasted Kai with Oblivion, Sky plowed through her with a running knee lift. That incapacitated Morgan for several moments, who was briefly checked on by the referee. Ultimately, Sky put Morgan down for the 3 count with her signature moonsault. Despite the grisly nature of her injury, Morgan was all smiles afterward. "Io, you could never make me ugly," said the former women's world champ in a video she shared to X along with pictures of her cut. Although she and Rodriguez lost, they still have a title match coming with reigning women's tag team champions Bianca Belair